had this dream recently where I was meeting with somebody special and hanging out with somebody special. Um, I don't know if this was, a girl I knew in school or within the dream, it was a school framework. And I'm not talking about a wet dream, so, keep your minds clean. But it was one of those things where, your brain is trying to fill in the voids and the gaps that exist in your real life. And that for me is a void that has been long standing. It's been a long time that such a void has existed. And that's always down to just life, not having a lot of money, not having a car anymore, and rampant, I should say, health problems and issues that I have. And it seems like I go out less and less this day and age because of all of those circumstances. And other than that, there's, just people being who and what they are, sometimes going beyond the expectations in, both a good and a bad way. I mean, there are people who you find out their true colors and you find out that they're not what you thought they were. And that's happened, unfortunately, time and time again with my sis and I. And there are times when I have those dreams where, you know, I've met with or been hanging out with somebody special, somebody who makes up my mind's sort of equivalent of what I most, seek in finding someone to share this life with. I'll wake out of it, and there's this buffer zone where it's like I almost so desperately want to get back into that dream as soon as possible. No matter how good life is outside of it, no matter how much my sis and I have accomplished after losing our parents and our grandparents and aunts, and we have some aunts and uncles and a grandmother who, as of the time of this recording, still are alive, and we keep into vague contact with and such. But it just seems like it's so hard to meet anyone, at least for somebody like me, and especially living in the whereabouts within which I do. It's very hard to find people of like mind and like interest and such like that. Whereas the internet, this digital medium, this YouTube, Facebook social medium sort of, thing, it has formed a lot of bridges over such gaps. A lot of people I would never have known in this life are just an arm's length away across this digital medium. And it's fascinating to me because, on the one hand, it is such a plus in that the people I've met have been incredible. There are a few who go above and beyond that words just simply would never equate. How grateful I am to know them, how special they've become to me, and how important they've become to me. And I've never met them apart from this. And, it's such an incredible thing because this medium has allowed us to form those bridges across those gaps and make strides toward having semblance and reaching, sort of a level of surrounding friendship and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just a bridge across it. You have to always be aware the void hasn't gone away. It's not instantly filled in. And for me, somebody like me, I mean, I'm a very imaginative person. I have a very vivid visual imagination. As a writer, is something that I've utilized time and again when working on a project. And so when I have these dreams, I mean, it feels the utmost real. Um, the idea of like calling somebody and going out and hanging out in front of a movie theater, waiting to see whatever movie you want to, go see, and just sitting and chatting with, whatever girl you might have thought of in high school, or sometimes it turns into the form of like a celebrity crush. And time again, it's like you wake up and you wish so desperately that the dream wasn't over. And I guess what it leaves me with is, even though I'll always wake up in that interim buffer and feel regret for it only having been a dream and not being real, I think what it also always makes me acutely aware of is that this life, all that we've accomplished, all the friends and acquaintances I've made online, I hope desperately that this never becomes the dream from which I awake into something else. And I think, in a sense, when we all eventually die in this physical form, and I do believe that there will be an energy, an essence that will move on, whatever that is. I don't think science quite readily understands at this point, but I know that there is something. I've seen at least what to me amounts to evidence as such, and maybe that's waking up from the dream, from this dream. So at least while we're here, we're always going to have moments of pain and hardship and depression and loneliness and all these things. But as long as we take value out of the things that are good, I don't see how we can ever go wrong. As long as we put our best foot forward, even in the face of hardship and feeling like you want to give in. I mean, it's so easy to feel that way. And I've been brought to the brink a couple occasions in my life where I almost did. And it was people reaching out to me that kept me from it, as well as my own internal strength that I've had to find. And so I've always kind of just tried to be there for somebody who's felt that way. Sometimes I meet people online and I talk to them and I make them feel better. And that's one thing where it's like, if I can make somebody smile, if I can make somebody think, if I can make somebody feel good, even just a little bit, even just infinitesimally, if I can let them know that they're not alone in how they feel, then this is a dream worth experiencing. It's a dream worth having. And much like those frustrating dreams of having someone special in your life that you wake up from and you realize, damn, it just wasn't real. I don't want to wake up from this dream anytime soon.